Shout out Sniper T on the beat.
Tamara to the break of dawn is on the rise, with life on the forefront of the mind. So line for line, you can ride this brain train and you can change your station without even touching the dial. So relax, stay a little bit, but listen for a while. And whether you're bumping this in the whip or in a business fit, it's a meeting you won't want to miss. A meeting for a meal to feed the soul with words for the mind. So sit back, enjoy the ride. Time to take off, it's time to fly. Cause Tamara till the break of dawn is on the rise.
Hey, y'all. It's me, Tamara. Yes. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Welcome to the show. But let me apologize in advance if you happen to hear that squeak in the background. Gizmo is playing with his toy. I'm not going to take it from him because he's quiet and I don't want to have to put him in his kennel so that I can record. And it's not his fault that I'm recording last minute because guess what, guys?
At the time of this recording,
it's Wednesday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, which means that you are not getting this content at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time for the YouTube viewers, right? But y'all get it early regardless. But thank you so much for tuning in. Welcome to the show. To all my new listeners, new episodes drop every Thursday. I usually talk about my life, my interests, and the ways I am trying to grow. And you can hear some of my life in the background. If you can hear the squeak, squeak, squeak of Gizmo, you feel me? Yes. So also, to all my day 1, 2, 93, 145, whatever week you came in and just continue to listen and support and all that good stuff. I appreciate that. If you're not, you should follow me on social media. The link to that is in the episode notes. And if you're not, you should totally subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now listen, y'all. Typically, the YouTube upload at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, but I don't even know what's been happening. So they've been getting recorded later, therefore getting uploaded later than that. However, the audio version drops at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time on Thursday. And you definitely get the YouTube way before that. You feel me? Just maybe right now, kind of struggling with getting more disciplined with my time. And things are shifting in June to where if I don't get my life together in that way as I am trying, June going forward is going to suck, right? So thank you so much for tuning in, y'all. Man, it's so funny. I don't want to talk about this, but y'all already know who you know that you've been here since day one or whatever. Shout out, you feel me? Y'all know I can only give y'all what I got, right? And so I'll say the last 2 weeks, but this has been something I've been wrestling with longer than that. But the last 2 weeks, I've just really been like honest with myself. You feel me? Honesty is good, right? So to those of y'all that don't know, I've been single for like a long time. Like literally, I was married for a couple years and divorced in 2007. So we're coming up on 16 years and I've just been single that whole time. Like, now don't get me wrong, there maybe have been people I've been interested here and there, maybe even people I've kind of like talked to, trying to get a feel for whatever, but nothing that actually panned out to an actual relationship. You know what I'm saying? And so whenever because listen, I have spent much of my single adulthood, again, I apologize if y'all can hear that in the background, but I have spent much of my single adulthood like either focused on school, work, my kids, whatever. Now we're at the point where all of my kids are grown, you know what I mean? And we're past that transition phase that we were in. Business is heavily focused on subcontracting, which is fine because I'm still coaching young people and, coaching services and whatnot. And so there's not as much like what was going on before, right? When it was deep in the struggle, right? And so amidst all of that, somehow, some way, somebody, now I'm not dating, but somebody that I know just somehow is like piqued my interest, you know what I mean? And it's very interesting because things like this, which is literally the only reason I'm talking about it, I'm not dating this person. I have not had any conversations about this with this person. Now, this is someone that I know, not like super, super well, but this is someone that I know. So that's what makes this interesting. But what makes it more interesting as I'm, going through this, and the reason why I'm going to talk about this, because y'all know me, I'm always talking about the ways I'm trying to grow. What makes this very interesting is that when stuff like this comes up, it really starts to expose my insecurities, my fears, and whatever. But what I can say is that I'm proud of myself because typically, one, if I even remotely feel like I'm interested in someone, I will act like they don't exist because it's like somehow in my mind I would feel like, well, if I talk to them or whatever, they're going to be able to know, and I don't want them to know, typically because of fear of rejection, you know what I'm saying? And so because of that, I don't care if I had to see them every day, I will act like they don't exist. So this is where I'm super proud of my growth because I see this person, don't ask me where, don't ask me who, don't ask me nothing, because I'm not telling you, you feel me? But I see this person, wherever, however much and whatnot. And what I'm proud of myself is I have been really intentional. Now, this has taken a lot of like prayer. This has taken a lot of being honest with myself, being super self-aware, and like lots of prayer, you know what I mean? Because it's like when the insecurities bubble to the surface, it's extremely uncomfortable. But in those moments, I have to choose, okay, am I going to let fear lead me, or am I going to let faith? And not so much like, oh, faith, we're going to be together or anything like that. Just faith that I can get through this, and whatever happens, it'll be okay. You know what I mean? And so I've really had to like just be super honest with myself. I've really had to just be super honest with myself. But I'm really proud of myself because I don't do what I would typically do to like try to preserve myself. So like when I see this person, whatever, I talk to them just like I normally would. I do everything just like I normally would. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't have to have this internal conversation with myself to talk myself into that, right? It doesn't mean that I don't have these fears and these insecurities and whatever, because I very much do. However, once it bubbles up, I'm telling myself, like, I am not going to let fear be what like leads me and leads how I act. And so I just act in the opposite of what I'm feeling in that moment or whatever. And so it's been this really interesting thing because I had a conversation with somebody because like whenever I'm calling myself interested in somebody or whatever, it always just seems weird because I don't know, like I'd be so focused. Like I work a lot. And if you don't know, with the subcontracting work that I do, I'm working with young people. I have like 12 different kids I'm working with right now. And so there are so many different things. Like today in particular, I literally interacted with face to face half of my caseload. That typically never happens. So I was back to back appointments from 12 till 8:30, right? Excuse me. So I've been like super, super busy. And then I've been more involved with the creative team and all that stuff. So it's kind of like I'm super, super busy and I'm very focused on that. And I'm also like trying to get back to like creating for the sake of creating, because it just seems like when I went through that season where I don't know that I've gotten out of my writer's block, and that's okay. Like, I've been here before. That's why this podcast exists, because I had writer's block, right? So I've been here before. Hold on. I feel like I'm finna die. You gotta give me some water. Hold on. Y'all. Also, allergy season has really been, it's been kicking my butt this year. I just thought I'd throw that out there too. But, okay, so typically like I was saying, this podcast exists because I had writer's block. So like I'm not super pressed about it, but I just have found that I haven't been creating as much as I want to. Like there are videos that I've recorded that been needing to be edited and ideas I have and all this stuff that have been needing to be edited or whatever for a long time. When I say, I mean like over a month, maybe even two, that this one particular idea, hell, maybe even three, excuse me, that this one particular idea has just been sitting in my photo or phone, video drafts or whatever. Actually, I did upload it to my MacBook, so at least we made one step forward, but it's been sitting there forever and I don't know. And then like if you follow me on my company content page, I have not been uploading content. Mind you, there is a video that I recorded that I'm almost done editing it. There's just this one last part and I don't know, you know what I'm saying? And so it's been such a battle with so many things, like even feeling demotivated, but also trying to like get in a better place with working out of rest. I think I talked about this where I like crashed. And so then that that made me realize I really needed to have better rhythms and just better habits with like not just working and making sure I have like my quiet time to spend that day. My quiet time, to start my day. Because if I work out of that, it's kind of like then just going like a day like today where I had a few hours to myself before I interacted with anybody. Gizmo doesn't count because Gizmo brings me so much joy. Now, granted, there'd be times he don't be listening and he don't be, doing what he's supposed to be doing, but he's a puppy. He's only 7 months and we're still learning and I'm working on like training him and different things. So it's it is what it is. He is a quick learner, so he's learning like my habits and it's so funny and I love to see when he's caught on to like certain things. So like he's not, people, he brings me joy. But I today, for example, had a few hours before I had to interact with anybody. Thank God, because it was literally like back to back to back to back to back to back for real, like 12, 1:30, 3, 4, 5:15. Then I had to go pick Kayleon up from work and take her home. And then I had basically by the time I got there, it was 7:30 to 8:30. Like, listen, it was back to back to back to back stuff, but I don't feel drained. And that's the thing, is that once I realized kind of like the better habits that I need to have for myself, it just makes everything just so much better, right? But with that, because I'm so busy and because I'm so focused and because I'm so whatever, or just in general, whenever I call myself like interested in somebody, and it doesn't happen often, and it doesn't happen like I don't have a specific type, it's always just whatever. And in this particular case, it's definitely different than any other time this has ever happened, which makes it even that much more like whatever. But again, it has forced me to deal with and face a lot of my insecurities and fears just as I process and accept and rest in the fact that, like, dude, it's okay to be interested in somebody. Like, I always feel like it's this thing that shouldn't happen. And I was talking to Kayleana, and she was like, how do you expect, like, you say you want to get married, so how is it that if you want to be married, that if you're interested in someone, that it's weird to you? Now, points were made, you feel me? Points were made, but still, it is still weird to me, right? It is still this thing where I'm just like, how did you get here? Like, for real, for real. But that's where I'm at, y'all. Like, that's kind of been my week. Like, it's really been the last couple weeks that I've stopped fighting that it's even a thing and just like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Because again, I don't have to try to see this person. I'm just gonna see them, you know what I'm saying? Just because the way I live my life and how I move, and don't worry about how or where or whatever. It don't matter. You feel me? You know what I mean? But it's a thing, and so it's I don't know if there's gonna be any updates on this because I mean it's not like I'm going to tell this person, you know what I mean? Yeah, so and some of y'all may feel like maybe I should, and that's your business, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's where I'm at. And let's see what else is going on. Kellyanna's gonna be 21 on Monday. That is just, it is wild to, whenever I think about like how old my kids are, it's just crazy to me. You know what I mean? And then let's see what else. I mean, obviously my birthday is next month, June 27th. Holla at your girl, you feel me? But besides that, I'm really excited to see like what it's gonna be around, excuse me, what it's gonna be like around here in the summer and like as it gets warmer and all that stuff, because that's honestly when you really feel, or what the heck am I talking about? That's honestly when you really find out what your neighborhood is like. Because in the winter, everybody's in the house, it's cold, especially here where I live. But like in the summer, kids are out of school. So I already see there are like younger kids. Like from what I can tell of my neighborhood, it's either families who you've probably been here for a while and like I think they're like older, retired with grown kids. Okay, y'all, one Gizmo, get off my bed. Come here. And I'm leaving all that in because no, this dude did not just jump on my bed like he running stuff. Like, mm-mm. And that's the second time he done did that. He done got too comfortable, you feel me? But anyways, so it's like older people that are probably like their kids are grown, they probably got grandkids too. And then I see there are families that have kids that are like younger than mine, like middle school and below, it looks like around me. So it's just this interesting mix. And then it's like me and my kids where, you know, people probably don't even, they might even think that I'm their sister because people really just don't be thinking I'm old enough to have my kids, and it's fine, but I'm definitely old enough to have my kids, you know what I'm saying? But and then it's me and my kids, so it's just this interesting mix. We're always in and out with work, so like I mean when we're here, it's usually when we're not working, like everybody works full-time jobs, so everybody be gone all day, and then on their day off, they may be here. I'm the one who's more in and out just because my work schedule is more flexible. Like, even though I have back to back appointments, one of my appointments was a video conference. And so I was here when I had that appointment. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm in and out of the house. Usually, the way I schedule my appointments, though, is I typically don't have any appointments before 11:30, and now my schedule, except for I see Wednesdays are going to be a little different, but now my schedule is kind of back to, well, I'll be home like around 6 or whatever after I pick Kayliana up from work. And so yeah, I'm in and out, you know what I'm saying? But I'm excited to see kind of like what this neighborhood really has to offer, because that's how we finna know, you know, whatever. Because we haven't even been here 6 months yet. Like, we just came up on 5 months. Love that the weather's getting warmer, you know what I'm saying? Because I was really, really, really so over the cold and so over whatever. And so I'm loving that we're like really getting to that spring weather. It has been raining, which typically I'm a fan of rain. It's just when I have to be in and out, you know what I'm saying? Because now that I'm going, I have to go meet with people, you know what I mean? I'm like, ugh, I could do without the rain, but it is what it is. So that's all I got for y'all today with this lovely, quick little update. I'm trying to think if there's anything. There's literally nothing. Like, y'all, Man, I will say I miss writing. Like, I miss PenTamZ. I miss spoken word. There's a lot of things that I really miss that I'm sure it'll come back around, but it's just like, gosh, where I'm at right now, it's just such a weird place. Oh, the super dope thing is I think I told y'all who knows if I even told y'all, but like when was it? Was it March? I think it was March. The beginning of March, I led a workshop at College of Hair Design, the Build a Biz workshop, where I teach entrepreneurship essentials and also digital marketing tools to the barbers at College of Hair Design. And I will be going back next Friday. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah, we just had to end that early. So yeah, that's exciting because it's kind of like I do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and that's great, but sometimes young people, you can't really tell really what their takeaways are or whatever, or sometimes if you run into them when they're older, but you rarely, I don't know. I'll just say when I went to College of Hair Design, and just the enthusiasm and just the engagement of the barbers and just the whole, just everything was just so life giving to me. And, and then for the fact that it's something solely related to like Tamara the Don Inc. And it's something that's like, I love, facilitating workshops, and I love if I have knowledge really with anyone, which I love one-on-one stuff too, but I also like facilitating workshops. So I love that if I'm knowledgeable about something and I can share that with you and even help you think about things in a different way or whatever. I love doing that because the more that I do, especially like with the coaching, and so then you're having to teach people different things, I really realize, and I always have had a kind of like unorthodox approach to like teaching. Like, I could take the same thing and explain it 5 different ways so that if you're not grasping it, well, let me try this other way. Let me try this other way. And for whatever reason, I'm just wired like that. And it's super helpful, especially with one-on-one stuff when I'm teaching the kids, whatever, because I'll teach them entrepreneurship stuff or whatever too, but it's also helpful in a group setting because it's kind of like some people may understand business concepts while others may not. And just using a bunch of business language to try to explain it, that doesn't necessarily mean that that person is going to grasp it. It's not about you sounding educated when you're trying to teach somebody. It's about you making sure that the other person is learning, hopefully retaining, and then able to apply whatever it is that you're teaching them, right? And so super excited about that. Just because it's a fun day. Kayliana will go with me and all that. So hopefully we'll be able to have some content from that, because that's always the goal, you know what I'm saying? But it's like I miss doing Tamara the Don, excuse me. I miss doing Tamara the Don Inc. content, but it's like I'm not as pressed about it because I am super busy, but I do want to, even if it's just once or twice a week, I get back to uploading stuff. So maybe it doesn't have to be every day like it was before, but I really am working towards getting back to uploading content because I miss doing that. If y'all could only, side note, just see the way this dog is really just running around in my room like it is a playground. But what I do love is that, because he's like running under my desk and stuff where I'm recording, what I do love is that he doesn't like mess with cords or any of that stuff. He sleeps in my room. Y'all, the other day, I literally passed out in my recliner. I was so tired. So, like, the light was on and all this stuff. Usually, like, he has a little bed set up, and I'll be like, okay, let's go to bed. I'll get in the bed. He'll get in his bed. I know he was up, running around, just living his best life. But I'm going to tell you what he didn't do. One, he didn't pee or poop in my house. So, shout out for that. You know what I'm saying? Two, he didn't tear up nothing in here. You know what I'm saying? And he probably went to sleep, but all I know is when I woke up to get in the bed, he jumped up because when I move, he moves just like that. Like that's how that goes. But yeah, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Super excited though, like I said, about the College of Hair Design workshop coming up. Super excited that it's about to be summer. I don't even know why. It could be because my birthday's coming up. Who knows? But as always, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you are taking care of yourself mentally. Excuse me. Hold on. Gizmo, come here. What are you doing? See, it's just like a kid. When you too quiet, it's like, what are you doing? He looking a little too happy, and I don't know what you got going on. But anyways, make sure you take okay, let's try this again. Make sure that you take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. Make sure you be healthy in your relationships. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Ladies and gents, this concludes transmission. Tune in next time for a whole new edition. Another adventure and mission to share, be heard, and clarify the vision of this whole new world for...